Alright, in this video we're going to try something a little bit different. We're going to be working with graphics, a little bit of drawing program. So the drawing program in Python there's a few different ones, but the one that we're going to try is called tkinter. So we're going to start by importing, and it's a little bit of a different import from tkinter import star. Make sure you have lowercase tkinter, otherwise it won't work. Okay, and then we need to do a little bit of setup. So we're going to set up root equals tk bracket bracket and make sure that that is a capital T, otherwise it won't work. Root, it is just a variable name. It could be anything, but might as well just copy mine for now. And now we're gonna set up a canvas for us to draw on. So we're gonna go my canvas. Again, this is just a variable name, could be anything. But if you copy mine, it should work for sure. And then canvas, capital C has to be capital C. Okay. And then we're going to say root, or whatever this variable name is. If you named it something different, then that's what you'll put there. And then we're going to give it a size, height equals 800, comma, and width equals 800. Those are number of pixels, I believe, and you can put whatever size you want, bigger, smaller, but I'm going to go with 800. After that, we have to go my canvas, or whatever variable you used for the canvas, dot pack, bracket bracket. Okay, so this should have set up a canvas for us to draw on, and if we run that, we will see that there is indeed a blank canvas of some kind there. Okay, now when we have this canvas, we're going to work on a grid coordinate system, x and y's, to figure out where to put stuff. Remember that the top left corner is 0, 0, and the numbers get bigger as you go to the right, and they get bigger as you go down. Okay, so that's 0, 0, and then this corner over here is going to be I guess x equals 800 and y equals 0, and this bottom right corner is going to be x equals 800, y equals 800, and this one is going to be y equals 800, x equals 0. Okay, so we can draw a few things. We'll start by drawing a line. My canvas dot create line bracket bracket. So in create line, they take a few inside the brackets. We need to tell it the different coordinates. So I'm going to put 2 brackets in here. Okay, now inside each of these brackets, I'm going to put an x and y for when it's going to start and when it's going to stop. And so we can say 100, 100. So this is x and y. Okay. X 100, Y 100. So that's our starting point, and then the stopping point will go X is I don't know, say 500, and Y could be say also 100. That will draw us a straight horizontal line. Let's try that. And there we go, straight horizontal line. And this point, starting point is 100, 100, and the end point is 500, 100. We can add as many points as we want. Okay, let's just add 2 more points, and we'll say 500, 500, and we'll say I don't know, 200, say 0. Okay, and run it. Okay, so you can see that it is drawing lines to each of the points that I specified. You can also give it a little bit more arguments. So for example, you can say width equals, and then you can say a number. By default, I believe it's 1, but we can make a bigger number, say 4. Run that. I always forget, you have to press stop before you run it again, otherwise it's not going to work for some reason. So you can see a thicker line there. You can also give the line a color by saying fill equals, and then putting a color there. tkinter will recognize certain kind of basic colors, and so here we say red, and so it turns it red. Okay, so that's line. We can also do mycanvas.create polygon. So with create polygon, again, it's going to you're going to put the coordinates of the vertexes of the polygon that you want to create, and then it'll just make a shape. So you know, it's fairly similar to the other one that we just did. So if we say I don't know, 700, 750, and maybe we want to go 500 and 750 again, and then maybe we want to go I don't know, 400 and 600, something like that. And we can try that. And so there it is, that little triangle. That's my polygon with the 3 vertexes that I mentioned. You could have also a fill on this one, and this time the fill is going to fill in the polygon. Okay, so it turned it yellow. The next one we'll look at is oval. So my canvas dot create oval. So with oval, you need to give it 2 coordinates, and the 2 coordinates that you give it are going to basically draw. Okay, maybe before we do create oval, let's do create rectangle. So the 2 coordinates that you give create rectangle are going to be the top left hand corner and the bottom right hand corner. So the 2 corners basically. So if I have a corner, say 200 and 300, and then so that's the top left corner, and I have the other one is say 300, say 400. Okay, so there is what was it, 200, 300, and 300, 400. In this case, my rectangle was a perfect square, so that could work. And you can do like fill and width and stuff, same as with the other ones. But there's also ability to do ovals. Okay, now oval happens to be similar to the rectangle in that you're giving it pretty much the rectangle coordinates, and so it will draw a rectangle that you can't really see, but it will inscribe an oval into that rectangle. And so I gave it the same coordinates as this rectangle I just drew, and so let's see what the create oval does. And you can see that it has put an oval, in this case a perfect circle, because the rectangle that is inscribed is a perfect square. Okay, and so if I expand that, I don't know, to make it much taller, right, you'll end up with a much taller oval. Okay. I didn't draw the box because I didn't change like the create rectangle, but you can imagine if I made the rectangle bigger, then that would be the exact box that the oval is in, just like that. There's also a way to do, an oval that I mentioned, you could do like different fills and stuff like that as well, I believe. Let's just try it. Width equals 5, fill equals blue, something like that. I think this will work. Yeah, so the width is the line and the fill is the inside. So you can see the line is thicker because I have width 5, and the inside is indeed blue. You could also create part of oval, and that's with arc. So I'm just going to copy this. Okay, and I'm just going to say, instead of create oval, I want to create arc. And so create arc uses that oval, but then you're only, so that is the same, but you're only using part of it. So you need a couple of other parameters. So you need the angle at which you're going to start. And so 0 is kind of like 3 o'clock, the horizontal angle. And then extent is how many degrees that your arc is going to go. So like how many degrees that you want it to go. And then, yeah, I think that's all you need. So let's try that, see what happens. Let's make it a different color. Let's actually make it, what other colors are there? Green. Okay, so you can see it's in that same oval because I didn't change the coordinates as the oval, but we have a start at 0, so that's that horizontal line there. And then extent is 100 degrees, so you can see that's just a little bit past 90, so that's 100. And then width 5, so you have the line is has a thicker width, and then fill green. Okay, so that's another thing that you can do. You don't need to put it inside an oval. You can put it somewhere else if you want. So I want 700, 700, and no, I want it to be maybe 600, 500, and I want it to be I don't know, 600, something bigger, so 750, and something more than 500, 600, maybe that works. Let's try that. And let's try extend, maybe I want to make a half circle, so 180. Let's try that. And there we go, nice little half circle down there. All right. What else can we do with our drawing stuff? We can do that's all maybe the graphical stuff. We can do creating text. So we can do my canvas dot create text. Okay, so create text needs a starting point. Okay, so X and Y for the starting point, 300, 100, say. It needs the text itself, and that's in quotation marks. Hello, hello. And then if you want, there is a default font, but you can use any kind of the Windows fonts. So we can say, I don't know, Calibri. And then this is going to be, the number is going to be the size. Yeah, let's just go with that and see what happens. So there, hello, hello. Okay, Calibri font, 20 size. You can change the font, you can change the text, you can change the position, change whatever you want. Times New Roman. And let's say 60. And there we go. Nice and big, different font, etc. What else can we show you? Well, we can do this. We can put a picture in there. So it only accepts certain pictures. And so let's just find a good one. And so we can look up dog GIF. It doesn't accept JPEG. It does accept GIF. I believe it accepts PNG. I haven't tried it. I know it accepts GIF. It's not going to animate it, unfortunately, but you could definitely just grab a random picture here. Like I said, it's not going to animate it, sadly, but it will display it. And we'll call it doggy.gif. Make sure that it saves in the same file as your python .py file, otherwise it's not going to work. Okay, so we go back to our Python and What we're going to do is file equals photo image, file equals quotation mark doggy.gif. Okay, so this stuff, this is, yeah, just kind of copy this part, and then we go my canvas dot create image, and we gotta give it some coordinates, and then we're gonna give it image equals file coordinates, and we can put it at, say, 400, 200. Let's see. Oh, that ended up being rather big. I believe there's a way to scale that down, but I'm not sure. We would have to look in the documentation, which, yeah, I might as well show you. So Python tkinter canvas documentation. Okay, so I don't know, any of these will probably do, but let's just look at this one, for example. So, yeah, so there we are, create arc. So there is a lot more details in the documentation than what I have told you. So here's create image. Does it allow us to scale it? Doesn't look like it allows us to scale it. So you would have to change that image to a smaller one before we can get that to work. But yeah, I won't bother doing that, but you get the idea. Okay, let's do this. We can do... Oh, before we go further, I should have showed you this before, but we are supposed to do root.update. Anytime that the picture changes for some reason, we need to do a root update, and then a root.geometry. This part, I think it's going to make a difference when we start getting into more complicated things. So far, we haven't needed that, but you're supposed to have that stuff there, just kind of template stuff. Anyways, let's do this one. Let's do my canvas dot bind, and what we're gonna do is allow my mouse to interact with the canvas. So I'm gonna go button 1, which is left button on the mouse. Okay, and so what we're gonna do is, if I click the canvas with my left mouse button, I want a function to happen. Okay, I haven't written a function yet, but let's give it a name of, let's say, just display my mouse coordinates. Okay, so when I click on the canvas with my button 1 of my mouse, which is the left button of my mouse, we're going to do whatever's in this function. Okay, let's write the function. Oh, just one note. Usually when we're doing a function call, we do the bracket. In this case, in tkinter, we don't use bracket because in tkinter, functions don't take arguments. You cannot send arguments into a function. So something to keep in mind. Let's write the function. Def display coordinates. You do have to put event, which is the mouse event, in there. And then what we're going to do is just print the mouse coordinates. So print str so x and y. So the event is my mouse click. Event.x is the x coordinate of my mouse click. Event.y is the y coordinate of my mouse click. I need to put it into a string to be able to print that out. Yeah, let's try it, hey? Okay. So I click up in the corner here, 1313. You can see it running in the shell here. On that corner, right, a big X and a small Y. And there, a big X and a big Y. And down in this corner, a small X and a big Y. So all my coordinates are printing there. So that can be very helpful, actually. Yeah, if we want to get even more fancy, what we can do is make another function that, say, prints draw oval. And that's going to draw an oval wherever I click my mouse button. So I'm going to send it my canvas and then an X and Y coordinate. Okay. And what we're going to do is say my canvas dot create oval. And for the first one, we'll say X and Y. And the second coordinate, the second corner, should we draw a circle? Yeah, let's draw a circle. Say X plus 20. Y plus 20. Okay, so that will draw a little small circle inside this box bounded by X and Y in the top left and X plus 20, Y plus 20 in the top right, bottom right, sorry. Yeah, and then let's just give it a little bit of fill equals red, width equals, I don't know, 2. Okay, so where we're going to call this function is call it from this mouse event that was I just clicked. And so we're going to call our function from here, draw oval. We'll give it my canvas, and we're going to give it event.x and event.y. That's the coordinate of my mouse click. And let's see if this is going to work. So if I now click here, I will get a red dot. Right, so there my coordinates are appearing, and here I can just draw red dots wherever I like. Okay. Yeah, I think that's probably good for now. That gives you a few things to work on. Alright, so that's all for this video. We'll see you in the next one.